So, if you're like us, deep in the digital world, you've probably felt this too, right? This kind of nagging feeling. How do we make sure that the soul of what we create, the real feeling behind an idea, doesn't just evaporate online?
Yeah, it gets lost somewhere between the code and the screen. It's a common frustration.
Definitely. And that's why today we're doing a deep dive into something our sources call the master code. It seems to promise a way to tackle exactly that. So our mission today is to, well, unpack it. What is it? Who's it meant for? And what can it actually unlock for us?
It's interesting because the sources don't position it as, just another app or platform. They frame it as something bigger, the result of years of work and this realization that AI could be, well, more than just functional.
More than functional. Okay.
It feels like they're hinting at a real aha moment in how we might use technology moving forward.
Okay, that definitely hooks you in. But if it's not just software, then what is it? How do the sources actually define this master code?
Well, reading through the material, it seems to be described as maybe a foundational protocol or perhaps a new kind of data architecture. Think of it less like a program you run and more like a new way to structure digital information itself.
A new structure.
Yeah. The sources call it a bridge between the logical world of algorithms and the kind of emotional depth of creative work.
Hmm.
The core idea seems to be transmitting not just the data, the pixels, but also the mood, the intention, even empathy, somehow embedded within it.
Whoa, okay. Embedded empathy. So it's not just about making things look prettier or sound clearer.
Apparently not.
The idea is that our digital stuff, pictures, products, whatever, could carry this subtle layer of feeling that would totally change how we react to digital content.
Exactly. That's the ambition they lay out.
Yeah.
Moving past just rendering information visually or audibly. It's about allowing this subtle infusion of affective data, like how a painter puts emotion into brushstrokes, but digitally.
Effective data.
Yeah, and the idea is you'd experience it almost subconsciously. It would make the
Whoa.
interaction deeper, more memorable.
That's a big leap from just clicking buttons or scrolling feeds.
It really is. It emphasizes engagement on a whole different level.
That focus on feeling is, wow. But something this potentially profound, it probably isn't for just anyone, right? The sources seemed pretty clear about the target audience. Who is this actually built for?
Right, they are specific. It's aimed at entrepreneurs, creatives, visionaries, basically anyone who's trying to push the limits of digital representation and wants to make a real, lasting emotional connection through their work.
So people who get that real impact happens when tech actually touches someone, not just, shows them something.
Precisely. It's for those seeking that edge through creating genuinely new, immersive experiences.
Okay, so if the master code is this bridge to emotional depth, the big question is, what does it do, practically speaking? What possibilities do the sources highlight?
They outline three really key areas where it's supposed to make a difference. First up is what they term emotional depth,
Emotional depth. Okay.
meaning your audience, your
Right.
customers. They don't just see your product or your art online. The code supposedly lets them feel the intention behind it. The creation becomes emotionally experienceable.
Just think about that. How much stuff do we just glance at online and forget instantly? This suggests moving from just seeing to actually feeling, engaging differently. Okay, what's the second area?
The second one is innovative experiences. By adding that emotional layer, the master code is claimed to enable totally new kinds of products and services.
Not just small tweaks, but new forms.
Yeah, things that offer genuinely immersive, maybe even soulful experiences. The idea is that gives you a real competitive advantage.
Like what, for example?
Well, they suggest things like a virtual tour, where you don't just see the space, but you kind of feel the atmosphere of the place.
Interesting. Okay, and the third area, you mentioned the sources really emphasize this one.
Yes, the third one. More human-AI communication. And this does seem like a really big deal. The aim here is to make AI not just faster or more knowledgeable, but more understanding, more personal, genuinely empathetic.
Empathetic AI, where do they see that applying? That could go so many ways.
It really could. The sources mention a surprisingly broad range. For instance, education.
Education. How?
Imagine an AI tutor that doesn't just spit out facts, but maybe senses if a student is getting frustrated and adjusts its approach with empathy.
Okay, that would be different. What else? They mentioned meta systems. What does that mean here?
Yeah, metasystems. From the context, it seems they're talking about those really complex, interconnected digital environments.
Hmm.
Think like large virtual worlds, maybe smart city networks, sophisticated IoT setups.
Oh, okay. Complex systems.
Exactly. And having AI with some level of human-like emotional understanding could apparently make those systems work much better, interact more smoothly, like an AI managing traffic that can feel the flow or stress points.
That makes a certain kind of sense. Any other areas mentioned?
They also bring up nutrition and enjoyment.
Nutrition, seriously?
Yeah, suggesting an AI that gets your cravings or your emotional ties to food, not just calorie counts.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then there's therapy and consulting. This is a sensitive one, obviously. But the idea is an AI using the master code could offer more nuanced support, picking up on subtle emotional cues in your voice or text and responding with, well, appropriate understanding.
Making those AI interactions feel more genuinely supportive, perhaps?
That seems to be the goal.
Yeah.
It definitely makes you wonder how much this could change the services we use every day, right?
Mm.
Making AI feel less like a tool and more like something we can connect with.
It really does. Now, you mentioned the sources link this to a specific person.
Yes, Konrad Wulfmeier. He's identified as the developer. And it's described as more than just code. They call it a medium of empathy.
A medium of empathy. That framing is interesting.
It is, and it ties into another critical point, especially for creators today, protection.
Mm-hmm.
How do you safeguard your work, particularly its emotional value, online?
Right, the intellectual property issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The master code apparently aims to protect the heart of creative work, the IP, the ideas, art, AI content, innovative methods, using something they call certified authorship.
Certified authorship sounds like Beglaubigte Urheberschaft from the original German term, perhaps.
That's the one. Essentially, it functions like embedding a secure, unalterable digital signature into the work. It verifies who created it and protects it from being misused or misrepresented. Kind of like a super secure digital notary for creative work.
Okay, that sounds potentially very valuable for creators. So this certified authorship, this protection, how does someone actually get access to use the master code and these features?
The sources state that you acquire a creative license. A creative license.
Oh, license. Oh.
And they present it not just as buying protection, but more as an investment. An investment in being able to truly reach your audience emotionally, build those deeper connections, and show your work in its full intended essence.
So, boiling it down, the value proposition isn't just tech specs. It's about using technology to foster that deeper, more authentic creator-audience relationship.
That seems to be the core message, yes.
Yes.
Moving beyond just surface interactions.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening right now? This deep dive into the master code, based on the materials we've looked at, paints a picture of a digital future that's maybe less transactional, more emotional, more empathetic. It definitely challenges us to think beyond just the data and the pixels, doesn't it? Towards feeling and genuine connection online.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with a really provocative question to think about. If technology can start to truly convey mood, intention, maybe even empathy, what new possibilities does that open up for you? But also, what new responsibilities might come with that and how you share your own ideas or products or art in this evolving digital world?
A powerful thought indeed. Something to definitely mull over. And that concludes our deep dive for today.